please let me present to you our first interior. This is a Troopy interior that we have designed together with the help from the guys from Odyssey. They're delivering the floor panel for us, but the rest of this is our in-house design. John has spent weeks coming up with the right design for that, and we've bounced it back and forth with everybody in the workshop so that we can get the best out of our experience in building Troopies to create an interior. And now the best thing about that is that we can completely wire and plumb up and then put into a big crate like this one here and send it anywhere in the world. So let me show you the bits and pieces. What we've got is, this is the driving seat position, this here, at least in Australia. But it also works for the USA, for example. This kit here is actually being sent to the USA. It's the first prototype, and somebody was really keen on getting it sent and wanted the first prototype. So this will be sent to the USA. The driver will be sitting here. This is the space for the fridge. You can fit up to a 90-liter National Lunar fridge into this space here, bolted onto the floor, and then we've got a little storage space here. Is that fresh? It still needs cleaning. That you can access from in between the seats. And then there's another little storage space here that in Australia will be behind the driver's seat, where you got more storage space here. Underneath this, you've got 400 amp hours of lithium batteries installed. This is also where the system gets split when it's being sent, but more to come later. What we've got here on this side is the hot water / shower water outlet and an air outlet. So you can have a shower on this side of the vehicle. You can put your little shower tent on the side of the vehicle, plug in water here and get water through a gull wing if you install one here on this side, or otherwise through the open door, because the door will open right here, so you can have a shower there and inflate your tires. Cool thing about this area here is all your shower hoses, tire inflation kit, rattle gun, air tools, whatever you might have, can all live in here, and it's easily accessible. While this here, and same for this, these can all be locked, so you can put valuables into this as well. Then we have got the temperature adjustment here, because this has got a water hub system installed, a deconstructed one. And on this side here, we've got the drink water outlet, and we've got the external water input. So door will open here, so you can have a canister or bucket of water and just suck in water right here. And of course, on this side, we put another air outlet, so you got air on both sides of the vehicle. Then we've got our Egan DC hub right here, a DC-DC charger and another DC-DC charger. This is a 1240 and a 1225 back to back. They do use this whole area here as a heat sink, and they actually work quite well. We've tested it. Solar input is here, and you can have a diesel heater air intake here as well. I'll show you more about what's underneath here later on. Then in here, we have got our interface. So you've got roof lights that you can turn on and off. These are also remote controllable. And there is a 12-core cable going to the front of the vehicle that's already pre-wired, so you can have additional switches in the dash. The 12-core cable is already there, and it's long enough to go to the front, to the center console, wherever you want it. And all these circuits that are in here can be switched from there. There's already power supply to the dash in there. And there's also a cable that goes to the roof that is already pre-wired for all the lights that go onto the roof, for the tent light circuit, for the National Lunar Light circuit. So everything that we usually do, this unit is completely pre-wired to work with all of that. It comes with a plan so that you can install this, and then you just connect the electrical circuits. For example, there's a 6 BNS cable going to the start battery as well. You just hook that up, and it's automatically connected to the right parts, and the DC-DC chargers will start to work. We've got our Touch 50 in here. There's a Servo GX in there as well. These bits here haven't been filled up for this customer because the customer needs different plugs than we've got here in Australia. So you can have 240-volt outlets here, USB and everything here. And the cool thing about this is you've got one gull wing here to access the fridge, and you will have another gull wing here. So you can use this bench space, and you generally have your MaxTrax table on this side. So you got fridge, you got drinking water on this side that you can use for cooking. You've got your MaxTrax table, and you still got access to 240 through a gull wing here, plus extra bench space. So if you want to use an induction cooker outside or inside, you just plug it in here, you turn the inverter on, and you can start cooking away. But there's more. This here, this little section, is accessible just with the small door open. Cool thing is you've got a little stash hole here where you can still access the jack that's usually in the side, and you can use this just to stash shoes or dirty equipment, and you can access this drawer just with the small door open, which is quite handy if you have a tire carrier, because then you don't always have to have both tire carriers away and then both doors open. So this is a quick access drawer where you can put a fair bit of stuff in. So if you're into filming or something like that, you'll have all your equipment in here usually, and you can always easily access that. On this side here, we've got another full-length drawer. And then in here, we've got 4 more big drawers, which would most likely be for clothes and stuff like that. They're really decent size, and they're lockable so that they don't open up when you're driving. Also, we've got little pull-out tables here. So if you're sitting in here, you just pull out a little table, you can work on it, you can have a meal on it. And the cool thing is, because this is an L-shaped couch, the other person can sit there, pull out this table, and you can actually, instead of sitting next to each other, you can sort of face each other and have a proper dinner if you want to. You can also use this to just sleep on it in a stealthy way, just by yourself. We haven't got anything to cover this area up, it's just the way it is, but you can have cushions there and here. So if you just want to sleep behind a pub or something like that, you just sleep on here, just like that. Just make sure you don't fall down. And if you do, it's really not that fun. You're probably drunk anyway. And just in case you need a late night snack, there's a travel buddy in here, which you can access from inside and outside. Just in case the weather is a bit rubbish, you can still cook something in the travel buddy. And then we have got a really big storage area in here, so you can put chairs in here, other big gear that would be in the way otherwise. Travel buddy is in here, obviously. And then right in the walkway there is the outlet for the diesel heater if you want one. And now let me show you where all the goodies live. If you want to access the electrical system, what you can do is you can unscrew the box that I just took off. You can also have the box mounted either way, so you can have it accessible from the front or from the back, whichever works best for you. Then you can take this cover off. And look, everything is pre-installed. This looks a bit messy now because this is some extra holes we're giving the customer to hook up the tank. Everything's pre-plumbed. All you need to do is hook up the tank to it. Then we have got the cables that I talked about. Cable going to the dash. This is a cable that goes underneath the car for the tank level sensors. And for this customer, we've also added an extra switch because this customer needs heating in the water tank. So just in case he's camping somewhere in Canada, not sure if he will go to Alaska, but he says he's camping in places where it gets -10, -15 degrees, and the water is underneath the car, he can turn a circuit on that runs through a temperature switch, and as soon as it gets below 4 degrees, the heater will turn on, heat the water in the tank up a little bit, and then switch back off. So that is like a frost guard, I think you would call that. Then in here, we've got all the cables that go into the battery compartment, which has got a hole here. So once installed, you run the cables back through. Everything's labeled in the battery compartment and here. So you know exactly where to connect the cables back up to. Ground cables as well. Overflow, overpressure drip cable for the water heater. And then this is the connection for the shower output there. And we've also got the air fitting. But everything is pre-connected. Once you've installed this, you just run the cables back into this box. Also, the one for the travel buddy. You connect everything back together and this system will start to work out of the box. We've got our 10-liter Duetto water heater in here. I'll take this out of the way. This is the room for a 2000 or 3000 kVA multi-plus inverter from Victron, which has got vents here where a vent cover can be mounted. ARB twin piston compressor with tank. Egan relay hub in here as well. This is where all the circuits are being switched through. We've got our remote receiver in here, so we got remote switching for all the lights on the roof. Like I said, the two DC-DC chargers from Red Arc here, the BCDC 1225 and the BCDC 1240, which are also taking care of the plug-in solar. But if you want to connect roof solar, we've got another 30 amp MPPT from Victron right here and the Servo GX right here as well. So this unit is really, really well equipped. It's got everything that we usually put in our big Troopy builds. And because a lot of people have commented, I wish you were where we are. I wish I could bring my Troopy, but I can't. Well, you can order our work now, no matter where you are in the world, and we can send an interior like this to you in a big crate, all pre-wired. Just get in touch with us. Thank you very much for watching and see you around.